Welcome to Parlays, Payouts, and the Wagering Wolves with your hosts Robert Phillips and Bryson Granstra.
Yeah, you
Man, I
guys
swear
are
to God, I
really
am
pissing
a
me off.
fucking fat guy trapped in a skinny guy's body. I
You guys
mean,
just
just
eat
I
all
fucking sat
gas.
down right now, I'm out of
Not
breath,
doing any.
can't catch it.
Oh yeah. You guys just munch that shit up. Like
I've
it's
never eaten dog
honestly
ass
it's
in my
quite
life.
impressive. So like your parents,
I'm sure
the amount of calories that they have to consume with their beers just to be a little bit chunky is quite impressive because of how fast your guys' metabolism are. Well, we're not live.
I want you to know my mom listens to this. Dorothy Man, Dorothy Mantooth is a saint, a saint. You hear me?
Hey,
Like the comments you made last week about my uncle opening up.
yeah, I'm just saying it's impressive because like
And I want you to know we're always live. If we're talking, it's recorded.
yeah, no. Yeah, when she went back to work, the product really
And
suffered.
our editor hasn't worked in weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, I go and I just
And the words of
hit
Bill
the
Ray,
button
fuck it, we'll do it
that says
live.
publish. That's our editing process.
Yeah. You know. No.
I say a lot of
Fuck it,
things
we'll do
like
it
I'll
live.
edit that later. We'll edit that out. I don't. Never come close. La-
Yep.
so last week we had a pretty good week. One of us hit a parlay. The other one fell just short.
Yep, we got that one right.
Um, we really had the Commanders down. I really believe. I believe if we
Yes, you did.
rewound the tape, I said something along the lines of they're going to cover and they
I
could
you're
possibly
right,
win.
yeah. Commanders, they really I mean, there's always
Verbatim, I
one
think I said
real
that.
big, upset. It's very rarely that the number one seed and the number one seed play each other. So we'll find out.
Um, but I'm about two big upsets like this
Oh,
past
I'm
weekend.
talking about like going forward.
Well, no, I mean, the Lions, it happened.
Well, I guess the Vikings, that was an upset.
I was like, what the fuck you mean? We found out it happened.
The Vikings, Lions was a big upset because the Lions they got to put it on them. I mean, they kept it up a
Kinda,
bit, but the
but that
Commanders
wasn't.
just boat raced them. Um, so,
Mm-hmm.
so what was your favorite game? Yeah, he did. He did.
Start to finish, just
We can get
Jaden
into it
Daniels
obviously
looked
when we
like
start
the
covering
man.
the Eagles Commanders game, but I'm just so curious how his is this the norm or is this you know what I mean? It's kind of like Joe Burrow and the Bengals. They went to the Super Bowl that one magical year they went and like he's been good. He's been really good, really good, but I kind of think that
I think there's a couple of big differences. With the Commanders, they have a defensive head coach and an offensive coordinator who's
I
been a
do
head
think
coach before,
they
who
have
knows what he's
much
doing
better
apparently
like
now. He definitely did not when he was with Arizona, but
they
apparently
don't have
now
the
he might.
weapons though that Cincinnati does. And the
Um,
point I'm making is like I feel like we all kind of had these unrealistic expectations for Burrow going forward after that.
I,
Um,
I, no, I don't think the expectations were unrealistic.
I agree, but I feel like
He's
people looked at
performed to
him
the
like he's going to be,
expectations. It's just
like
the defense, the team around him
Aaron.
has kind of
Aaron,
failed him.
I compare Aaron him and Aaron Rodgers. I think is a good comparison, and that Aaron had really terrible defenses for a lot of years, and he just like had to pull good to mediocre roster, into the playoffs. So I think there's a good comparison between those two. So
If you're playing along at home for the bingo drinking game where Bryson mentions
hair,
Aaron
but
Rodgers
it's
and how
good,
good he
so.
is, this is the
What was
time
your
to
favorite
take
game
your
this
drink.
weekend?
Fuck.
Past weekend.
This past weekend or this weekend going forward? Oh man. Damn, my favorite game?
To me,
Ooh, my
it
favorite. I don't know about my
Buffalo,
favorite.
Baltimore.
It was
That
it was
was
just a
like
great weekend all around.
prize fighting. Baltimore really started off shitty. They fought back. Mark Andrews is such a good tight end. It sucks that he made just two bad plays, and I hope that the fans kind of cut him back.
Oh,
Exactly.
they've kind of already, I'm sure, forgiven him a little bit. He's had such a storied career there. Did you see what the Bills Mafia is
Good
doing?
comes out of
The
it.
money they've raised for his organization, like 60 some thousand.
Get the tape. Get the get the
That's
tables.
what Bills fans always seem to do. That and
Okay,
jumping through
so
tables.
this weekend,
Ah,
yeah, hell yeah, we can.
can we Photoshop the Bills
Yeah,
fans as the Dudley
make
Boys
power Thomas May Young.
with who was the old lady? I was gonna say Aunt May.
Pardon me.
I was gonna say Aunt May, but that wasn't right.
There you go. There you go. So, all right,
Mixing
this is
professional
the
wrestling and
second
comic
to
books.
last week of professional football. This is bright light. This you are correct.
This is when shit gets serious.
This is a. I will say this real quick before we get into this. To a football lover, I think that this week, this is where like for real football fans, the Super Bowl is so like you think the divisional round
I
is?
I disagree. I
That's
think it was
a fair
this
argument.
past weekend. I think that's probably the best weekend. Yeah, yeah. I think I think this weekend is when the head coach gathers his players in the locker room. He gets down on one knee. He looks at them and he says, "What if you had one shot or one opportunity to seize everything you ever
Yeah, I
wanted?"
think something about mom
Right.
spaghetti, something like that
Oh,
coming up.
let it slip.
Yeah, it's the mom spaghetti weekend. Okay. All right. So, first game. We got the Washington Commanders versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Philly's a pretty heavy favorite. They have played each other, obviously, being in the same division 2 times this year. They split them. First time, Philly dominated pretty good. Second time, Philly was ahead, but then Washington really did what they've done the entire year, which is just climb back out of a hole, and they got the job done. Can they do it again, though? Washington with Jaden Daniels playing incredible, incredible football. That offense is incredible. Philly, way more talented overall roster. Um, like we were talking about, when it comes to coaching, though,
Yeah,
I do.
they probably have the best roster in football.
Yeah, they do. You're correct. So I think Philly has a better roster.
Yeah, they probably have the best roster
You
in
make an
football.
argument that Washington has a better coaching staff. I mean, Dan Quinn, like I said, been to 2 Super Bowls, once as a head coach, once as a defensive coordinator.
Daniel James Quinn, great defensive coach.
Yeah,
Daniel James Quinn,
their offensive coordinator.
great defensive coach.
Their offensive coordinator is
Cardinals.
fucking. Their offensive coordinator.
I want to help you out,
is,
but I want to test your football knowledge here.
Fucking.
It is. Hold on.
But you'll never get better at stuff like this if I just.
I want to help you out, but I want to test your football knowledge here.
I can see his face. Kyle Kingsbury.
But you'll never get better at stuff like this if I just keep giving you the answers.
Sorry.
I knew it the whole time.
him and Daniels have really like they mesh together so well.
I knew it the whole time.
But can Washington get it done? I would love. Let me just say this. I would love Washington. Actually, there's two outcomes I really want to have happen this weekend, and the second one is I would love to see Washington beat Philly, get some new blood into there. You know, it's tired of the same teams all the time. I would love it. I just don't think it's going to happen, and I'm picking Philadelphia to win.
But why couldn't it happen? They've played each other twice.
Yeah,
Eagles won one.
yeah,
The Washington Skins won the other one.
yeah.
I tried to match the two names together. It didn't quite work right there, but I'm gonna work on it. Workshop it.
Personally,
You know what? Trump's back in office. Things can happen. Yeah. I don't know if that has to do almost anything, but we don't say Reds. Don't come on. Don't be racist. Be better.
Hey, I'm
Do better. Do better than
33%
that.
Native American, so I can say it.
I don't even know if that's a real number.
It is. I actually did a 23andMe. 33%, baby.
No, I mean I thought numbers ended at 30. I was homeschooled.
Numbers ended at 30.
Yeah. Where were we?
You're saying why can't the Commanders win?
Oh yes, that's. Um. Anyways, they both won one.
Yep.
And Commanders borderline they kind of dominated for a while in that second matchup. Granted, with no Jalen Hurts. But Commanders' defense is also better now than it was in that matchup.
Yep.
I don't know if any quarterback is playing better than Daniels right now. Darius Slay got hurt in the last game. I don't know how serious that was. Divisional game, strange things happen.
Here's my feeling about this. So Philly was just in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, right? And this is by far the biggest moment in this is the biggest game in the Commanders' history in the last 30 years. The Eagles are a battle-tested team. They have made deep playoff runs. They're just they're a veteran roster. I mean, it's gonna be close. I think both of these games are gonna be close. I mean, we're talking about the best of the best right now, and you are correct. These are two division teams, so I think I will be close. But I just think that Philly can run the ball. Philly could throw the ball. Philly's defense could get turnovers. Philly's got really good defense. They probably, them in Kansas City probably have the two best defenses left. They definitely have the two best defenses
Okay,
left.
here's my question. I think the more important question. Can the Eagles win by a touchdown? Will the Eagles win by a touchdown?
Yes.
Oof. See, I don't think they do. I think it's like a field goal game.
I think that it's going to be close all the way through. And I think at the end of the game, Philly's going to pull ahead. I would love to be wrong, but I think they'll pull ahead. I mean, it'll be seven points or less. I mean, I don't think they're going to blow out the Commanders. I think.
Well, I mean, the spread is 6.5.
Yeah, 6.5. I mean, I would say if you wanted to make a play that it was less than 7, because it won't be more than 7. I definitely know that. So it's worth the risk, I think.
I mean, my play is the Commanders within 7.
You think the Commanders are going to win?
No. Well, I think it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, anything's possible.
But no, I think they stay within the 7 points. I think they cover the spread.
Okay. So you say Washington to cover the spread?
I think Washington covers the spread. I think it's going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be higher scoring.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about
I
higher
don't.
scoring.
I think it'll be in the 20s,
I mean, that's
like
what's the
maybe
what's the
21,
what's
24,
the what's the over under right now?
47 and a half.
Yeah, I was gonna say that like 40, 46. Yeah, I can see like a 24-20 game,
Yeah,
24-21.
something like that. That's I think, because I just picking Eagles are just more of a veteran team. I mean, literally almost that entire roster was just in the Super Bowl a couple years ago, given freaking Patrick Mahomes all they could handle. They really outplayed the Chiefs that game. I don't need to get into that Super Bowl, but yeah, I think Eagles to win, Commanders to cover.
That's a riskier bet, but
All right. So that's what I'm going with, but we can just stick to the Commanders as a collective. The Commanders to cover. Okay. Now, let me get into this spiel real quick. The big game. The AFC Championship between the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that in the beginning of the season, if you would have asked most football fans, hey, who are going to be the two teams in the AFC Championship? I think majority of people probably would have said this matchup. Buffalo and Kansas City, they're the two best teams in the AFC, two best quarterbacks in the NFL. Obviously, they have a huge history playing each other. Buffalo has not beaten Kansas City in the playoffs, but they have beaten them in the regular season. And this matchup reminds me of the early 2000s when Peyton Manning could not get over the hump over Tom Brady and the Patriots. The only difference is in those previous games before Peyton finally won, Peyton played like shit. And almost all of these games that Buffalo has played against Kansas City, except for the 2020 AFC Championship, Josh Allen has fucking put on a heater on every single one of these games. The last two games, he has led winning drives to take the lead. Just the problem is there's been too much time and Patrick Mahomes went down and scored the final to win the game. They have beat them. I think that this Sunday, Josh Allen, St. Allen, is going to save America. He is going to put the NFL, the United States of America, the peoples of the world, the Panama Canal, North Korea, and the Teletubbies all on his back. And he is going to go into Kansas City. He's going to burn Arrowhead down to the fucking ground. And
to commit arson.
And the Buffalo Bills are beating the Kansas City Chiefs.
So your prediction, with everything that's going on right now, he's going to go into Arrowhead and commit arson.
Yep, for the
He's
Panama
going to
Canal.
set a second city on fire.
Yep, Donald Trump is going to, instead of saying we're going to change it from the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, he's going to say we're going to call it the Gulf of Josh Allen. Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills finally get it done. They are beating the Kansas City Chiefs, and then they are going and they are winning the Super Bowl. I was right about Ohio State when I said right after that Michigan game that they were going to win the national championship, which I was correct about. And I've been saying all along, Buffalo's winning the Super Bowl. This is it. This is the year they get it done Sunday.
I mean, I get that's like what the public wants and everything like that. The public doesn't usually get what they want. The better coach is in Kansas City. The better quarterback is still probably in Kansas City. The better defense is in Kansas City.
The better defensive coach is in Kansas City. The better kicker is in Kansas City. I can keep going on. The special teams coordinator that's better is probably in Kansas City. Get where I'm going? I mean, we all want the Bills to win, but at the end of the day, Kansas City is better. They've been there before. They'll be there again.
I think when you look at this year and how Kansas City's played, and we've said this before, I don't know how they have the record that they have. I mean, I just don't feel like Kansas City this entire year. Buffalo has played more consistent ball against better competition, more playoff team. Kansas City,
It is the
middle.
NFL. It is crazy shit happens. Josh Allen's due for a bad game and some turnovers, and it's coming.
This is how I know that he's not. Last week, when it was third down against Baltimore, and they went for it, and they went for a QB dive. Josh Allen goes to run for the ball, and he's stopped. Josh Allen turns around, and he's got the ball in his hands, and you can see he wants to lateral to the running back, and he says, "No, I can't do that. I can't do that. It's too risky." He has dialed in. I am telling you, Kansas City is going down this weekend. Josh Allen putting the Teletubbies on his back. He's going to win the game. They're going to win the Super Bowl. This is Buffalo's year. Buffalo finally gets it done. They literally beat them already this year. And I know
Yeah.
it's
Well, you know what? No, they beat them last year, sir. This season, last
They
year.
beat him last year. I'm thinking is like they obviously they gave Kansas City much time. Mahomes was able to come down there, kick the field goal, they won the game. But Josh Allen, he plays really well against Kansas City. He's played well all year. I think Baltimore stylistically was a worse matchup for Buffalo than Kansas City is for Buffalo. And they were able to take them down. Baltimore has a just as good a defense, if not better than Kansas City. They have a way stronger running game.
Oh no, Kansas City's defense is one of the best defenses in the league. The Ravens weren't even close.
They got a good one, but they're on par. But Baltimore has a better they have a way better running game than Kansas City, and that's Buffalo's weakness.
Ah,
I'm telling you, I have the courage of my convictions. Buffalo. I was worried about the Ravens game, but I've been saying all along, it's Buffalo's year. We're gonna have a Eagles, Bills Super Bowl, and Buffalo's gonna get it done.
I get it. I get what you're saying. It's what everybody wants, but you can't always get what you want.
All right, so how do you
You
want
can't
to?
always get what you want.
But if you try
But if you try sometimes,
Josh Allen,
you just might find you get what you need. All right.
I think you're going Kansas City.
What's the spread we got on this one? Enlighten us, please, sir.
1.5. So it's close. It's really close. And the over/under is 48.5. I actually think it's going to be a low-scoring one. I really do. I think it's going to be in the 20s.
You mean 20s for each team?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not low scoring.
Well, I mean, I think there's this idea, I guess, when you think about, Patrick Mahomes, that it really hasn't been that way since, 2018, 2019, where they just drop, 50 on your ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the Tyreek years.
Yeah, they just this feeling, but that's not really how Kansas City wins.
No, it's much more of a ball control offense now. But were these really been coming on lately? Travis Kelsey. This is playoffs. Travis Kelsey. He's gonna ball out probably just like he did last weekend. I think Kansas City wins. This is what they do. It's the playoffs. This is the This is the AFC Championship game. This is to get to the Super Bowl. I fucking hate him, but this is what fucking Patrick Mahomes does.
We're gonna go a little bit back in history, okay? And this is another history lesson here. 1988, 1989, San Francisco wins back-to-back years. They make it to the NFC Championship game, going for that three-peat. They lose to the New York Giants. Another New York team is going to knock off a team going for the three-peat, and they're going to win the Super Bowl. It's in the stars. It's destiny. It's destiny. I don't have a Bills hat on right now, but I have New York wearing Bills colors. Buffalo, I'm telling you, Buffalo is beating Kansas City this year.
I mean, I'm not rooting for Kansas City. I don't want to see them win. I mean, I'm a Raiders fan, but at the end of the day, I think Kansas City is going to beat Buffalo.
All right, I can put you down there for Kansas City. We'll see how the bets. How much do you want to bet for this one?
Let's put $25 on it.
Okay, so for $25, and we're having Washington cover the spread.
Yes, sir.
And Kansas City winning $25. That would get you $57.21.
Ooh, you want to throw on the under for the Bills in Kansas City for me?
Yeah. That will get you $123. So
All right. I mean, I'll probably do that, and
if
I'm definitely gonna throw in some player props, but
right. So for me, I'm going to do Washington cover the spread. Philly wins, though. And a Buffalo win. $25. Get you $167. So
yeah.
I think Washington, Philly going to be close, but I do think Philly is just going to be too much for them.
Oh, I think everything's gonna be close. I think both games come down to a field goal.
Yeah, and Buffalo finally, Josh Allen has his his 06 Peyton Manning moment.
I,
He beats the evil empire.
Peyton Manning wasn't even in Star Wars. Star Wars didn't even come out in that year. What are you talking about?
You never heard of the evil empire?
It's Star Wars, right?
No, well, kind of, but yeah, the evil empire is a reference to normally they use it to like the Patriots back when they were, or the Yankees were really good in the 90s.
I've never heard this.
Yeah, so right now, Kansas City is the evil empire of the league, and Buffalo, and I don't care how the refs want to baby Patrick Mahomes as the last. Buffalo's.
I heard he came out and I heard he said something today. He addressed it and said that he's not doing anything to influence the referees or something like that. Or I don't know if that's true. I could be making this up. Maybe I didn't even see that.
No, here's the problem I find about the whole Mahomes thing is, of course, he's going to get special treatment because he's Patrick Mahomes and then NFL quarterbacks. I get that. We want to watch like the starters play. I get that. I understand that, right? It is what it is. The problem is the fact that he plays into it, where he will run. He's running like that one play where the Texans players like hit each other when he's like late slides. He's running out of bounds, and then he purposely goes back in bounds just to try to. He's trying to get a flag.
He's also the king of like the late slide and like the fake slide. Like the run
Yeah,
and like he slows and kind of does this and then keeps going, or
yeah.
like he'll almost step out and then see the defenders slow up and then he'll run again. Yeah,
Yeah, and he runs on the sideline, so it's just perfect enough. So when they hit you, it makes it look like out of bounds, and that's what makes him a bitch. Because like
well, I mean that's not all. There's other things.
Tom Brady, like Aaron, like a lot of those guys who would get special treatment, they would like here's a Patrick Mahomes, and I don't care all the Chiefs fans get pissed off if they want. Guys like Brady's a football player. Patrick Mahomes is a thrower of the football. Patrick Mahomes is not a football player. Patrick Mahomes is a
Wow.
thrower of football.
Oof. Shots fired. That's you're saying you're really saying he's a bitch.
He is. Like you watch it, that's ridiculous. Like you literally look, he takes one hit, and the first thing he does is he looks up.
Looks up at the ref. Yep.
They hit me. Like, and it's like I said, like
That
I
did you-
understand you're going to get special treatment. Aaron Wood, and I
did you
100.
see did you see on the Netflix series Quarterback? It was the first game they had on there with the Chiefs and the Raiders. Every time Crosby would touch him, he would look up at the refs. He keeps doing this. He keeps touching me at the end of the play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah, and he's a thrower of the football. So that's why when people talk about, oh, he's the greatest ever, like, no, he's not, dude. I want to, if you want to talk about being like the greatest ever, show me Troy Aikman, who's not as good of a thrower as him, but back in the '90s, guys like him and Favre and Dan Marino, they were getting.
Ah, there it is again. You just wanted to defend something of Green Bay.
Well,
Fuck.
my point is,
I fell
like,
into it. I thought it was a real thing. I thought it was a real argument. I thought there was something real behind. Then you hit me with
they
that
were,
shit.
hold on, they were taking like beatings, right? They were taking beatings. Like now, you can't even touch them at all, which that's across the league. That's cool. I get that. That's fine. But the fact that he like plays into it, and that's like literally a part of their game to where like they openly look for sympathy from these referees. And that is what makes him not a football player, makes him a thrower of the football.
But when you see guys like Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts, when they get hit, you see flags or you don't see flags.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, like I get the whole protecting the quarterback. There's a lot of those hits. I get it because you want to see like when you watch this weekend. I want to watch Jane Daniels play. Right. I don't want to watch the backup. I don't want to watch.
Marcus Mariota.
Yeah. I don't. Fuck. I definitely don't want to watch that. Like I don't
Oh,
want to.
dude. Heisman winner, Marcus Mariota.
No, that was a long time ago. I get protecting the quarterback, but it's the fact that he's
Still
like
happened.
actively. It literally. It's like when your kid slaps another kid and then
Then you better slap your kid, right?
they're like, look, he did it. Like you're intentionally doing this shit, and it makes him a bitch. So
Which kid of yours are you calling a bitch?
Patrick Mahomes, I want to make that clear, very clear to all the CPS workers that might be listening.
Oh, Jesus. All right. This escalated quickly.
Yeah.
It really got out of hand. Oh,
All right,
Brick
so
killed a guy.
yeah, yeah, that's my picks for this week. Yeah,
Oh man. Yeah, shit. So we're almost down to Super Bowl. I'm really bummed with the Raiders. Fucking really just fumbling this whole head coaching thing apparently with Ben Johnson. I thought that was a done deal almost.
who's your quarter? Who's your coach now?
Oh, we don't fucking have one.
Oh yeah, that's
We
right.
don't fucking have one, Nate.
Yeah, who is out there?
Fucking, I don't know.
Like Robert Saleh, maybe?
No, you don't want him as a head coach. He's a defensive coordinator. I've seen a lot of stuff about like talking about Pete Carroll. I don't want that shit either. Like, what the fuck? They hired the general. They hired the assistant general manager from the Buccaneers. I don't fucking. I'm supposed to be excited about that.
I think would be good for you guys. Mike
You're gonna say
McCarthy.
fucking Mike McCarthy. God damn it!
Yeah, Mike.
I knew he was gonna say Mike McCarthy.
Mike would be the best.
Every time it leads back to the Green Bay fucking Packers.
Dude, you cannot tell me that Mike McCarthy would not be the best coach you've had since the original John Gruden run.
I think he would be better than what we have right now.
Maybe
Dude,
literally better
dude,
than
speaking of somebody fumbling a coaching situation, the fucking Cowboys.
Mm.
They're right. I think I heard. Correct me if I'm wrong. They're just promoting their offensive coordinator basically to be their head coach now.
Yeah, I thought they were going to go after the dude from the Eagles, Kellen Moore.
I thought that's what was going to happen too. Apparently, dude, what you see, you're letting McCarthy go, who was the head coach, and I would assume the one playing are calling the plays, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And to promote the guy who's just watching him.
Fucking Jerry Jones. What are you going to do?
Uh,
They
I
can.
don't know. Dude, for a minute, I started to think that your prediction of hiring prime time is was going to happen.
I mean, they could still fire him and hire him.
I kind of thought the talks with Dion were almost kind of real.
Well, we'll see. I mean, maybe they bring him to Vegas, but I do think Mike McCarthy would be a good hire. I could see him going there, or maybe Jacksonville makes a play for old Mike.
And so do you think the Lions are going to fall apart now without their offensive and defensive coordinators?
I do. I do. I think that, and then next year their schedule gets way harder than it was this year. So yeah, I do, and I'm here for it. And I think the Bears are gonna still suck.
Oh, no way, sir. The Bears are going to become good.
No, I don't think so. Listen,
Um,
listen. I want hold on real quick.
I think Ben Johnson's a good offensive coordinator, a good
That's great.
offensive coach.
That's great.
And I think Caleb Williams will be. And Caleb Williams is going to be way better than Goff.
No, that's good. Every year, some offensive whiz kid comes. Think about this. Just a couple years ago, Mike McDaniel was like the boy genius that everybody was trying to emulate, and now he's the leader of a middling franchise. Being a good offensive coordinator and being a head coach of a pro football team,
When
not
you
the same.
have when you have what can be an elite quarterback, you can be an elite coach.
Not just the head coach of a football team, a head coach of one of the most dysfunctional franchises in the last 45 years.
Well, let's see if Ben Johnson's the leader that everybody says he is, or thinks he could be, or you know,
So I don't know.
whatever.
Whatever. Bring it on.
Damn. So Super Bowl matchup. We have the Eagles, and we have the. Oh, we don't. We're split on the other one, huh?
Yep. Eagles,
Damn.
Bills.
Shit. Oh, I mean, well,
It'd be
I guess we'll
great if it was
see.
Commanders, Bills. That would be wonderful.
That would be the best outcome.
Commanders, Bills is the best for America. And then Buffalo can get a revenge for that one Super Bowl they lost out of the four.
But it wouldn't have been to the Commanders.
Yeah, they did because they lost to the Giants. They lost one to the
Did you
Redskins.
see? Did you see that locker room clip of Josh Allen?
Yeah.
uh, I want to see some. I want to see some memes of some people just like photoshopping him into clapping at the wrong time.
Yeah, dude.
Funerals, fucking whatever.
I mean, he just has all of the goodwill in America rooting for him right now. So I just think he's going to get the job done.
All right. Well, I think that settles it.
I think so too.
All right. So I have been Robert. That has been Bryson. Um, Everybody bet responsibly, drink irresponsibly. When in doubt, cash out. Peace.
Peace.
Motherfucker.
Motherfucker.